My name is Preeti Dobal Mehta, Assistant Professor, Chandigarh Business School of Administration. Today we are going to discuss about group dynamics and the stages of group development. So let's begin with the topic. What is the group dynamic is all about? Group dynamic refers to dynamic means changing, force means the factors which are responsible for formation of a group. It refers to the forces operating in the group. It's concerned with the dynamic interactions of individuals in face-to-face relationship. In simple way, group dynamics are various factors or the sources through which people come across to form a group, and that can be formal as well as informal in the organization. As a leader, understanding the group dynamic is essential in order to both compose and guide the individuals within a group or for the purpose of successfully and efficiently completion of the assignment. So in a way we can say that usually the groups are being formed for the completion of any organizational objectives or the tasks. It is also known as social process by which people interface to small and in small groups. So it is a kind of social process. Why? Because it is related to people. People those who are working for accomplishment of any task. People those who have the interaction for any group common goal. So it is a kind of social process that can be in the form of small groups. A branch of social psychology which studies problems involving in the structure of a group. It is a branch of social psychology. Social psychology, why? Because it is related to people. People, the way they behave with each other, the way they are interacting with each other. So it is a branch of social psychology. It's an interaction that influences the attitudes and the behavior of the people where they are grouped with others through either choice or accidental or circumstances. We can take the example of the interactions. That can be the way people are interacting. Let's take the example of an organization. Suppose people are working in a department. That can be considered under the circumstances. Means they are associated to form a group due to the departmental activities. Or here it is written, either by their choice. Either by their choice we can take the example of informal groups that usually we can see every day, like friends group, which they share common goals, they have common interests. Due to that, they used to form a group. Let's begin. What are the objectives of group formation? What are the main reason why groups are being formed? First is identify, analyze the social process that impact the group development and performance. Let's take the example of an organization. The main reason or the motive of a group formation that can be related to any kind of task is based on the identification and the analysis of the social process. Means what kind of work and what kind of people we require to accomplish any kind of work in the organization. Secondly, the most important is the acquiring skills necessary to intervene and improve individual and group performance in an organizational context. Again, we are considering this involves the skills that can be technical and non-technical. What organization is already looking for forming a group or forming a team for accomplishment of their activity. For that, what kind of skills and activities or the abilities they are looking for from the person prospect. So second objective can be the acquire of skills which are required. Third one is to build more successful organization by applying techniques that provides positive impact on goal achievement. This is a very crucial one. How well and in organization prospect we can build a group which is going to give a positive impact on the efficiency of the individual when they are working together for achieving any task. Now, coming to the principles, what are the principles or the strict guidelines when we are looking for the group development process or the group formation or the group dynamic? The members of the group must have a strong sense of belonging to the group. important aspect. The first and foremost principle is the strong sense of belongingness. This says, let's take an example of a family where the family members are having a strong bond with each other. The every work is being done with the sense of belongingness. Likewise, it goes with the organization point of view as well. When we are framing any team for work, when we are framing any kind of project team, for that, first of all, what is the mandatory or what is the essence of any group? That is the sense of belongingness. Means how when they are having the close knit with each other, when they are working together. Second is this sectarian in the part of the group may produce stress. In another, which may reduce only the elimination and allowing the change bringing about the readjustment to the related parts. That can be when we are considering different skills people all together. There can be some clashes, but as a group member or as a group leader, our task should be that our team should be united all the time whenever they are working together. The group arrives in the function owing to the common motives, very important aspect. Always the main motive of formation of a group is to owning each and every individual goals, and together they are completing or the accomplishing their activity. Group survives by placing the members into functional hierarchy and facilitating the actions towards the goal. This is something called where people are really working as per the hierarchy levels set by the organizations. Whatever the task has been assigned as per the skills and abilities of an individual, accordingly, as per the hierarchy, they must be accomplishing every activities as per their skills and abilities. Intergroup relation, group organization and member participations are essential for effectiveness of a group. Information relating to the need for the change of the plan, change and consequences of changes must be shared by the member of the group. I'm just concluding this 2-point line. Very important point is the active participation of each and every members. Likewise, if any kind of changes occurs in the field, that should be timely shared with each and every member in the organization. Now let's begin with the few theories for the group development. First one is the classical theory, social exchange theory and social identity theory. Let's begin with the first one. The classical theory, it was developed by George Homans, also known as Homans theory, suggested that group development based on the activity, interaction and sentiment. That means we can conclude it as AIS, activity, interaction and sentiments. So in this type of theory, what we have understood that individual shares common activities, they will have more interaction and will develop attributes, positive or negative, towards each other. The major element in this theory is interaction of the individual is involved. We can take the base example of a quiz members team. Just say from that prospect, here we are forming a group on the basis of activity. So say for example, if it is a quiz, it's a business quiz, I am assigning 3 students for the business quiz activity. That means I have assigned one activity. Accordingly, 3 members will have the interactions when they are working together or when they are performing. And once the task is being implemented, then they develop the sentiments or the relationship with each other. That is called a kind of classical theory. Next is the social exchange theory. It is something called offers an alternative explanation for group development. According to this theory, individuals form relationship based on implicit expectation, mutually beneficial exchange based on the trust and obligation. We can also say it as a cost and benefit analysis or a kind of exchange theory, because when we are interacting with the person, we always look forward for something getting in on behalf of the task which we are doing all together. So this theory is all about the exchange theory. In this type of theory, a perception that exchange relationship will be positive is essential of if individuals are to be attracted to and affiliate with a group. Simple is that people are looking forward for a kind of exchange of the out of their work, and in that kind scenario is known as social exchange theory. Last one is the social identity theory. This theory is all about people. It offers an explanation for the group formation. Simply put, this theory suggests that individuals get a sense of identity and self-esteem based upon their membership in the silent group. The best example we can take is a sports team. A kind of cricket team example we can take. In that is a kind of called social identity theory, because in that particular group, everyone is into the same field, means everyone is at the same cricket field area, so the sentiments will be automatically connected with each other when they are performing in a match. So they are wholeheartedly working together, and this kind of theory is known as social identity theory. The nature of the group can be demographically based, cultural based, or organization based. It can be also termed as when people are working in an organization are having different geographical locations based. So when two people from the same states are working together, definitely they will be having some kind of sentiments involved in each other, and they will have a more close bond than others. So that kind of theory is known as social identity theory. When more line is written here, individuals are motivated to belong to and contribute to identity group because of a sense of belongingness and self-worth of membership in the group imparts. So in a way, it is a theory where people are sharing the same common goal depending on their geographical condition, depending on their skills, and depending on their sentiments. Now, this is the most important one, stages of the group development. There are the 5 stages of the group development: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Let's begin it one by one. This theory was developed by Tuckman's theory. So stages of group development are also known as Tuckman's theory. He has concluded these stages of group development into 5 different parts. The stages of group development he has named as forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So during these stages, group members must address several issues, and the way in which these issues are resolved determines whether the group will be succeed in accomplishing its task. So just giving you a brief about the forming stage. Let's take an example of an organization where an organization has to start a diversification strategy where they need different skills people for their project or for their expansion program. So first stage will be the forming stage, where this stage is usually characterized by sudden confusion and uncertainty. When I am going to start an expansion strategy, for that I need team of 5 or 6 members concluding their different skills and their abilities. So forming stage, I am just simply assigning 5 or 6 members all together at one particular place without sharing what are their goals, what are their tasks that has to be completed, and simply concluding the 5 or 6 members that yes, we are going to start any kind of project without assigning their responsibility. So that is the forming stage. So under this stage, it is usually characterized by some kind of confusion and uncertainty because people are not aware of their responsibility. So the major goals of the group have not been established. Yes, exactly what I stated in the beginning. The nature of the task or the leadership of the group has not been determined. So the forming stage is an orientation period when the members get to know one another and share expectations about the group. Members leave the purpose of the group as well as rules to be followed. Simply we are calling 5 or 6 members, take for example one from production department, one from technical, from non-technical, one from finance, and one from HR. So I am calling 5 members all together for a kind of project. So that is called a kind of forming stage. Forming stage should not be rushed because trust and openness must be developed. These feelings usually strengthen in their later stages of the development. Individuals are often confused during this stage because roles are not clear and there may not be any strong leader. Ultimately, when we are forming a group, we are not assigning all the responsibilities to each and every member. So here people can be confused. People can be still confused because they don't know who is the group leader, who is going to do what kind of work. So this stage is known as forming stage. This is the first stage and the forming stage. Second stage comes with the storming. Storming is all about something called a kind of confusion, there can be a conflict, there can be a kind of discussion. So under the storming stage, in this stage, the group is likely to see the highest level of disagreement and conflict. It is the word written here, storming. It means people are having confusion, people are having conflicts, because again I am coming to the same example. When I am asking all the 5 heads of the department to come together to work, so everyone will be thinking that me should be a leader or me should be take all the responsibilities. So at that point of time, people can have the conflict with each other because still these responsibilities are not assigned. So everyone will be having in their mind that we are the one, we should lead the team. Members often challenge group goals and struggle. Again, because it is a conflicting situation, so people will be having definitely the number of disagreements, conflicts, confusion, arguments with each other. Individuals often vie for the leadership position during this stage of development. Again, the people should be having the argument and lot of discussion that we as we are the senior most, we are the more skilled person in our area, so we should be leading the team. So this stage is known as the storming stage. This can be positive experience for all groups if member can achieve cohesiveness through this resolution. Members often voice concern and in this phase. Members are not able to resolve the conflict and then will often disable or continue in the existing but will remain in effect and never advance to the other stages. So under this storming stage, when people are not agreeing to work all together due to their skills, due to their experience, due to their position. So under this stage, there are the times group formation is still stagnant because of the conflicts or because of the argument with each other. So this is called the storming stage. So now coming in norming stage. Very important one. Now means we are framing each and everyone with their roles and responsibilities. This stage is characterized by recognition of individual differences and shared expectations. Hopefully at this stage, the group members will begin to develop a feeling of group cohesion and the identity cooperative effort should be begin to yield results. So under the norming third stage or norming stage, here some norms are being set for each and every individual, those who are working in a group, those who are assigned for each individual task. So here some kind of responsibilities are assigned to the people. Secondly, once the responsibilities are being assigned or they are being categorized to each and every individual, they start to begin or they start to build relationship with each other. So again, responsibilities are divided among the members and the group decides how it will evaluate progress. Again, I am coming back to the same example. For a project, people are under the norming stage are now assigned with each and every responsibilities depending on their skills and abilities. Now they are being normed with their work. So now they will not have the conflict. They will start developing a relationship with each other related to the work. They will start developing the sense of belongingness with each other because now they are very much clear about their work. So this is called the norming stage. Very, very important one. Performing. Me as an individual understood what is my task. Right? So now the next stage, which is the fourth stage, is called the performing stage. Now actually I have to work whatever the task has been assigned to me under a group. Again I am coming back to the same example for a project when people are being now categorized or divided with the work, what they have to perform. Now they start actually actually implementing all those their strategies in order to complete their task. So under the performing stage, performing occurs when the group is matured now and attains a feeling of cohesiveness. Now once they are being assigned the work, they start working under the cohesiveness, like they have to work all together. Now they begin to be like a responsible team member and start working together for the accomplishment of the task. During this stage of development, individuals accept one another and conflict is resolved through the group discussion. So under the performing stage, there is no argument, there is no conflict. People start working all together in order to perform their task. Members of the group make decisions through a rational process that is focused on the relevant goals rather than emotional issues. So we are simply calling people for completion or any kind of project. So people are moreover working on completion of the task based on the various rational decisions which is going to impact their work in a positive way. So under this performing stage, people are actually implementing the work, people are actually working on whatever the responsibilities have been assigned to them. Last not the least one, this is called the adjourning stage. Now, when the work is done, under the performing stage, people have now completed the work. So, once the work is completed by each and every one, once the project is already initiated, then the stages come as adjourning. Adjourning is somehow when the work is done. Not all the group experience this stage of development because it is characterized by disbandment of the group. That means now group has been dispersed or the group has been now closed or now it is over because the work is done. Some of the groups are relatively permanent, some of them exceptions are always there. Some of the groups are there which are still permanent and still want to perform, but usually in an organization when there is any kind of expansion, so people used to have the projects team. So that is the best example of the stages of the various group development. The reason is that the group is vary with the common reason being the accomplishment of the task or individual deciding to do their own way. Members of the group are often experience feelings of closure and sadness as they are prepared to leave. Yes, it is. When we are working together for any work, again I am coming to the back, project is being done, but at least they have spent some time with each other, either it is related to the work. So once the work is over, group is over, but people also feel a kind of emotional attachment to group, even though that was due to the organization of it. But still they have a close link, they feel sad when they are leaving the group. So conclusion we can take here, the group dynamics refers to the understanding of the behavior of the people in the group, such as task group that are trying to solve a problem or to make a decision. So group dynamics, in a way we can say, it is something called where the people behavior have a lot of impact on whatever the task has been assigned to them. So people always try to work in a positive way wherever they are working in an organization, especially when they are working in any kind of task is assigned to them. Group norms are followed and collectively pressure to exerted to ensure effectiveness of group. Group norms are called that people should be having a sense of belongingness, sincerity, responsibility towards each and every task whichever is assigned to them. So group norms should be equally and very much rigidly followed by each and every member when they are working on together. Group provides messages of support and reassurance. Moreover, a group learners may also learn collectively for change action. So group involves something called the support and reassurance or kind of cooperativeness from each and every member in a group when they are working together. So this is called the reassurance. Thank you so much.